The brave little farmer and Dusty Liam wasn't a knight or a prince. He was just a small boy with dirt under his fingernails and a heart full of care for his family's farm. His best friend wasn't a dragon or a talking sword, but Dusty, a shaggy, grey donkey with kind eyes and ears that flopped like old socks. Dusty pulled the cart, carried firewood, and listened patiently while Liam told him all his worries. Their farm, Sunny Patch, was usually just that, sunny and full of life. But this summer was different. A terrible drought baked the earth hard as stone. The cornstalks drooped like tired soldiers, the bean vines shriveled, and the creek that watered their fields dwindled to a muddy trickle. Worst of all, the big noisy Thunder Creek that flowed past the edge of their land had vanished underground, leaving only a dry, cracked riverbed. Without water, the crops will die, Liam's father said, his voice heavy. And without crops, ... double quotes, he didn't finish, but Liam understood. Winter would be hard. One scorching afternoon, while checking the empty creek bed, Liam noticed something strange. Near the old gnarled willow tree at the very edge of their land, the ground seemed ... damp. Tiny green shoots, brave little blades of grass, poked through the dust. Liam knelt, pressing his palm to the earth. It was cool and moist. He followed the dampness like a detective. It led him right to the base of the willow, where the roots formed a dark, shadowy hollow. Peering in, Liam heard it, a soft gurgling sound. Water, a hidden spring, bubbling up from deep underground, feeding the roots of the willow. Liam's heart leaped, but his joy faded fast. The spring was trapped. Thick, thorny bramble vines, as tough as old rope and sharp as needles, had grown over the entrance, sealing the precious water inside. They'd need to be cleared, but the thorns were vicious. Liam ran back to the farmhouse. "Dad, there's water by the willow." But the brambles ... double quotes his father sighed, rubbing his tired eyes. "Those brambles are worse than dragon scales, son. They'll tear your hands to shreds. And we've no time. The Johnsons need help mending their fence before nightfall. We'll think of something." He trudged off, shoulders slumped. Liam looked at Dusty, who was patiently munching the last of the dry hay. Dusty's kind eyes seemed to say, "What are we waiting for, Liam?" Liam knew he couldn't wait. His family needed that water now. He grabbed his sturdiest gloves, though they had holes, his small, sharp hoe, and a bucket. "Come on, Dusty," he said, his voice trembling only a little. "We've got a job to do." At the willow hollow, the brambles loomed like a spiky fortress. Liam took a deep breath. He remembered his mother saying, "Bravery isn't about not being scared, Liam. It's about doing what's needed, even when you're scared." He started hacking at the thickest vines near the top, where the thorns were slightly smaller. Snip, thwack. Thorns snagged his gloves, scratched his arms, and caught in his shirt. It hurt. Tears pricked his eyes, but he thought of the wilting corn, his father's worried face, and Dusty's trusting gaze. He kept going. Dusty, sensing his friend's struggle, nudged Liam gently with his nose. Then With surprising cleverness, Dusty lowered his head and started pushing against the lower, thicker tangles of vine with his strong forehead and shoulders. Thump, thump. He used his weight, carefully, to loosen the roots where Liam couldn't reach with his hoe. It was slow, scratchy, sweaty work. Liam's arms ached. Dusty's fur got tangled. But together, boy and donkey, they chipped away at the thorny wall. Finally, with a last mighty rip from Liam and a determined shove from Dusty, a large section of bramble tore free. Glug! Clear, cold water, fresh from the earth, gushed out of the hollow. It spilled over the cracked ground, soaking Liam's boots and Dusty's hooves, already starting to green the thirsty soil. Liam whooped. Dusty let out a loud, happy hee-haw that echoed across the dry fields. They worked quickly, clearing more vines to let the water flow freely towards the fields. By sunset, a small clear stream was already winding its way towards the cornfield. Liam's parents found them there, covered in scratches, mud, and grinning from ear to ear, watching the water flow. His father's eyes shone with tears as he pulled Liam into a tight hug. "My brave boy," he whispered, his voice thick and clever. Dusty. That night, as rain clouds finally gathered, brought by the same underground shift that freed the spring, Liam sat on the porch with Dusty. He gently rubbed ointment on his scratches and Dusty's tangled fur. The farm wasn't saved by a knight's sword or a prince's decree. It was saved by a little farmer's courage, a donkey's quiet strength, and the simple, brave act of facing thorns to find the water underneath. And as the first drops of rain began to fall, washing the dust away, Liam knew Sunny Patch would bloom again, thanks to the bravest team of all, a boy and his donkey.